We want to greet those of you who are watching the Perry Stone YouTube channel right now. We're coming to you from the beautiful city of Bethlehem. It's called the City of the Nativity, meaning the city of the birth of Christ. We're in a shop which is originally founded by Nikki Kanawati, who is a very dear friend of ours. He's a great friend of the Trinity Broadcasting Network, and Paul Crouch as well. And he's passed away and gone to be with the Lord. His son is now shop owner, but I want to show you something they're building here which is really, really amazing. This is a wooden replica of the Ark of the Covenant. And they were showing me when you lift this up on the inside, and I don't know if we can lift this up, Robbie. Let's just see. We'll hold the stick there, put the rod of Aaron there, you might say, and just let's see if we can pull this back. And yes, isn't that heavy? Look, brother, you got better arms than I do. Okay, see the wood on the inside? It's gopher wood. And if you know anything about gopher wood, the Ark of Noah, back in the book of Genesis, God told him to build an ark out of gopher wood. It's a certain kind of wood. Someone said, I didn't know gophers made wood. Well, it's not what it's talking about there. It's talking about a certain kind of wood. What they're doing, they're taking, and I thought this was interesting here. Look at this. See the gold there? See the gold, actual gold foil? And they're taking the gold foil and putting it over top of the entire ark. And of course, this is how it was made. It was actually made with wood, and it was covered with gold. And there's the pot of manna. Look at this. This is really neat right here. See here, we've got that. And here he is. Come over here, my brother. Right now, I'm hooked up with a microphone. You keep talking. This is my dear friend.
Yes.
Now, tell us a little bit about this. What was the motivation to build it, and tell us what you're doing with this? Because this is, I'm not seeing this in the shop. And
Yes,
I've been here 38 years.
That's
Okay,
right, that's right. Well, we wanted to do something basically that is based on the Bible, the book of Exodus 25:10, and it took us approximately 1.5 years to complete the whole thing.
Wow.
We did it exactly the same size that the sizes that are mentioned in the Bible.
Right.
Plus, we have used gopher wood, which is acacia wood.
Tell me about acacia wood. Now, I taught on the tabernacle and mentioned this,
Yes.
but you said something else I don't know if I mentioned. Tell us about what that wood does and doesn't do.
Basically,
This is the wood. This is the wood the furniture was made with in the tabernacle. The acacia wood. Tell us about
Yes,
that.
the acacia wood is the only wood that the termite cannot go through it. Amazingly.
That really is amazing.
And you can see the wood when we open it.
Yeah, we
better
saw that
than
just now.
You
Yeah.
just saw that?
Yeah.
And after that, we have imported a stone from Sinai.
Now look at this. This comes from Mount Sinai.
Exactly. To make it, more authentic.
Boy.
Because, the two tablets would have been
Would
from
have
that,
made from the mount. Yeah, from the mountain.
Sinai.
Right.
And of course, the staff of Aaron.
Look how heavy. Moses had to be strong because he carried tablets of stone down. These are heavy.
They're very heavy.
I mean, I'm not the strongest guy in the room. I'm probably the weakest guy in the room. But if you lift those, I can't hardly lift those with both hands. Look at that. Look at that. And then they're breakable. Like when Moses came down and broke them.
Exactly.
This type of stone, I can tell, if you hit it too hard, you could actually break this, right?
They will. And we will break them at some point.
You will.
Yes.
Just creating it.
Just creating it.
Right. And this is the rod. Y'all be careful, and we'll turn this into a snake and come after you. Be careful. So there's the rod.
This is coming also from the almond tree.
This is from an almond tree.
Yes.
This is because Aaron's rod was an almond because it blossomed.
Exactly.
Look at this. That has a great. Doesn't have sometimes cedar smells. That doesn't have a smell to it, but that is neat. So he had an almond rod. You've got, and this kind of wood you said is also what?
This is the gopher wood.
That's the gopher wood as well. The acacia tree.
The acacia.
The acacia
And
tree.
This is, of course, we are overlaying it with 24 karat gold.
I saw that right
It
there.
is not paint. It is not the color of gold. And it's not 23.5 karat. It's 24.
24. How?
And if you put your finger on the gold, it will come off
Even now?
even now, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Are you going to have to coat it with something to
Yes.
keep it?
Yes.
Okay.
See that? If you on my
Oh, look at that.
finger, this is the gold.
Look at that. Wow. Well, this is amazing. And how old is the shop? Because I always like to share with people information. They ask questions. How old is the shop here in Bethlehem?
My father took over in 1975.
Okay.
So that's
When did you meet
45.
Paul Crouch? He was very good friends with Paul.
Probably before I was born.
Wow. Which is?
78.
78.
Yes, 1978.
Well, I can remember all my life of coming to the Holy Land. Let me say that, not all my life.
Yes.
And I can remember Nicky would come, he'd always have the same suit on.
Yes, I know.
And he was always, my doctor, Brother
doctor."
Perry, my doctor. You know, he called me the doctor, you know.
Yes, I do.
And we really miss him. We miss seeing him, but you've done a great job of taking over. And is all of the olive wood from Bethlehem?
Yes.
Most of it?
All of it.
All of it.
Anything made out of olive wood is from Bethlehem.
Can I ask you something? Are there just this many talented people here, or are there just certain artists that really do most of this? Because these faces, I mean, this is a piece of art.
It is.
Literally a piece
It
of
is.
art.
You know, the olive wood industry is the oldest in Bethlehem, and it's like kind of families are working in the olive wood.
Okay, families.
So, and you know, with the new machinery that is coming up, with the new small tools that they're using,
Okay.
they're doing more detailing. There are probably 5 or 6 I would call artistic
Very
factories,
artistic.
factories in
Right.
Bethlehem, and they're doing all of the beautiful pieces, most of them.
Wow.
And the 125, the rest of them, they're doing, you know, the grade B and C from the olive wood that you're seeing in the shop.
Really, so people will know this is a lesson. In olive wood, there's different grades of wood,
Yes.
different quality woods, but there's also different cuts. Like some of these pieces may be cut on a machine,
Yes.
which is a little less expensive than an artist by hand cutting it piece by piece, because there are pieces here that are so detailed that a machine can't do that. And an artist must sit there by hand. You had a guy back here one day that
Yes.
just blew my mind.
Yes.
I'm just like, this is a gift from the Lord, how you're doing this. Look, can I show him one thing? Look at the face of Jesus here. Look at the detail. And one thing I noticed, and I love olive wood, but one thing I noticed is they cut the grain. See, the grain is not going this way. The grain is going with the face this way. So when the artist begins to cut, he follows the grain pattern.
Yeah, this is basically, this is the trunk. This is one piece of wood.
Oh, it's one piece.
It's not 2 pieces.
Oh.
So this is carved.
Wow,
this is
look
the way
at
of
that.
the grain that is going through.
Right, gotcha.
And
Look at
it's
that.
a beautiful
And these
piece of
trees, a lot of them are very old.
art. Very old. So this is not cutting off the tree. This is basically the wood from pruning the trees.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So in other words, if you leave the root, the tree grows back. Even in
Exactly.
Scripture, it tells you that.
Exactly. So
Right.
the olive tree is
Man.
one of the trees that
Can we just show some pieces here, because I'm into a lot of art and things like that. But look at this. Now I have one of these. I got this from your dad years ago.
Yes.
This is the temple made out of olive wood.
That's right.
And that's one of my favorite pieces. I have it on display. But your nativity scenes, because this is Bethlehem, the place of the nativity. You're part of the Church of the Nativity,
Yes,
by the
I
way,
am.
where Christ was
Yes.
born. And we'd love that fact about you and the families here. But look at this. This is just, look at this, pieced together, glued together piece by piece. All these are hand cut, hand carved.
This is, for example, this is made by the Zachariah family.
Now he's the one that's the most famous one in the shop here, wouldn't
Yes,
he?
exactly.
Definitely
And
here in the shop.
This is by Tweme, is another young artist. He's also amazing. If you look at the detailing, you will be amazed.
Now
This
let
one
me
is by our factory.
Now let me ask you this.
This one is by our factory.
That's your factory. Okay, let me ask you this. This is a tree, perhaps. Is that right?
This
is
yes.
a part of a tree.
This is actually the.
Let me get over here where you can get on the
Yes.
speaker here. Okay,
This is the root of the tree.
gotcha. Okay.
This is the root of the tree, and these trees, the large ones, these were trees that were removed.
Like homes, buildings.
Exactly, and they
yeah.
tried to replant them somewhere else and did
Right.
not.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the only time we use these large trunks.
In other words, they only use these trees. They don't cut the trees down just to cut them down. If they're building a road,
Exactly.
building a house,
Correct.
which they're building all over,
Oh, all over.
then they have to take these trees out. Then they use the trees for this type of thing. It's beautiful.
Just like the tree that you saw, the large one.
I remember last year.
We,
Yeah.
Actually, it was sold to the United States. M1 Bank.
Really?
They fell in love with it, and they took it to display it in one of their bank.
Wow.
Yes,
And that was what you had last year when I was here.
you almost got it.
I
Remember?
couldn't believe it. I was saying
Yes.
the history. I could teach with this for
Yes.
years. I could put it somewhere. I could talk about Romans 11,
Yes, exactly.
and so I'm fascinated by this. Well, thank you so much.
God bless you.
We're gonna eat, and we have Our partners are here now on the Bethlehem tour. We always bring them by here, and we have a big group coming next week. And so if we can get this, we have a hard time posting stuff from here because of the internet. But if we can get this posted, hopefully our folks that are coming will see it, and you will know everything is peaceful. The weather's great.
Yes.
There are no problems here like the news reports. That's way south near Egypt. That's where they have some of the difficulties.
Also,
and we don't go
I
there.
Wanted, before we stop this video, I wanted to thank you for all the love gifts and the money that you have given to organizations and to the people.
Yeah, the VOE family partners have sent over $100,000 in. And we're distributing that $10,000 to orphanages and feeding programs here in Bethlehem. So thank you for doing that. I'm glad you brought that up because I don't want to forget
and
our
that's
good
not
people.
For the first time. You're doing that every day, every
year.
and sometimes twice a year.
Yeah.
That you're helping organizations and people in need in this city. And we thank you from the bottom
Well,
of our
look,
hearts. We love you so much.
This is
and we thank
Jesus.
you for all
This
that.
is where Jesus was born.
Yes.
And if we can't help people here, we're just in serious problems. Okay, so that's
right.
That's how we look
That's
at it.
right.
Charlie, thank you for taping this, and thank you for joining me on this YouTube special from the Holy Land.